Mic check. What's up, guys? We're going to start in 11 minutes and 19 seconds.
They always trying to flash you with the
Okay, we got 10 minutes. I'll go ahead and get started.
glad you made it. Welcome to the world of entertainment. Cool.
Okay, we have 2 minutes and 18 seconds until we start. But I'll show you how I made these instrumentals. And then as an introduction today, I'll show you why that matters in this path to creating Block 1 records and these opportunities. If you saw the live stream last week, then you already have a head start. And instead of a 2-hour overview of it, I'm just going to give a real quick overview. But how do you make something like that, which is a remix of public domain and Creative Commons music, which means you can put it on iTunes and Spotify and distribute it. And so the way you do it is you find samples through our sample finder here, using your different beats per minute, and you can search. This is all public domain. You can see the visible spectrum there. But when you have your music, and you can start.
Appreciating all that you do.
Appreciating all that you do.
Appreciating all that you do. Me and you.
Okay, and so that is how you like find. Oh yeah, that's where I got the little. I layered these drums. Anyway, I think we're starting. Let me go ahead and get this thing out of the way. Right now, what are we? We're on Common Edits. Let me close all this stuff out. It's all pretty fun music, you know. And all of that music, this is Common Edits. This is a remix engine. That's how I got started in music, and that's what started Block One Records. And I'll just roll right through it. So I was a finalist at the AT&T Entertainment App Challenge. It's a remix engine. At the time, it was called Blocktune.io. I was on stage saying that remixing is the future, and that people like this kind of music. It's reminiscent of hip hop from like Puff Daddy and even earlier Public Enemy, where it was strictly sampled music. And we have scraped the world's public domain and Creative Commons music, put it into a remix engine that's available in your browser on your phone, and you can always save your music on the cloud. And then you can put it on iTunes and Spotify and sell this music. And we got 90% of the audience vote in order to win the AT&T Entertainment App Challenge, and 100% of the judges vote. And this is the CTO of Warner Brothers Entertainment. This is Dia Sims, the president of Combs Enterprise, which is Puff Daddy's entertainment arm. And this is the senior vice president of entertainment for AT&T. Let me make sure I got myself unmuted. Oh, that's perfect. I'll mute this. Okay. And, I could show you the video of it with Dia Sims saying congratulations, all that. I have a bottle of De Leon right next to me. It's the tequila that Puff Daddy and his team bought, and my name's engraved on it, as well as he sent some bottles of Ciroc vodka, and I think I'm going to give these to the community. Not today, but I think eventually there'll be ways to give this to the community. I gotta research and make sure it's legal to like give away alcohol. But anyway, this is how I started Block One. We're just doing it real quick, and then we're going to get into what are the digital assets that you can use. And so, won this. What happened? I raised $600,000 in funding for Remix Engine. I signed a partnership with Timberland, and if you want to see the live stream, you can learn much more about this. 20% partner. 10 years from effective date, cashless. We're just both working on art projects here, fully vested upon issuance. And then that got me to Capital Music Group, where I was part of their first accelerator program, that the Generator program, which is a accelerator they put on in Capital Studios. So we spent like 3 months in Hollywood. I already had the remix engine built, and so I was trying to get access. Universal had this API where they own 14,000 songs, and I was like, put your songs in this remix engine, which I just showed you. If you guys saw some of the music beforehand, that's with public domain, and so I had connected to their API during a hackathon and had access to 14,000 of their songs, and I was pitching to them during this accelerator program. Let's make this legal. I know it's a gray area, and what this participation agreement entered into by Capital Music Group, a division of UMG Recordings, Universal Music Group, and Common Edits Inc. And so I have a deal with Common Edits and Capital Music Group as well as Timberland. This was all for a remix engine, but the innovation department was like, hey, the remix engine, we're not quite ready for that. We're not quite ready for it, but you should start a record label. And in fact, what you should do, create an algorithm for us and see if we like it. And so I created an algorithm that would monitor artists who had less than 1 million streams. It would monitor all their social media, and if they started going viral, then we would connect them with Universal Music Group. And the idea is we would get them opening slots to major artists. But with the pandemic and everything, that kind of closed up. Touring kind of stopped, and so we needed a new creative project. And so we pitched to some streaming platforms, a docuseries around, these artists, this algorithm that we had built. But anyway, when we brought this algorithm back to Universal, and it was working, it was finding good artists. It really did. If you have like 1,000 artists, the ones making good music at the time will float to the top, and it was pretty cool. And so that is when Universal was like, you should create a record label out of it. And in fact, go build it, go get some funding, and come back. And so we got funding from Block One. It's a VC fund out of Hong Kong, and they got $4 billion, and they are working to do some creative stuff in the blockchain. Proof of stake versus proof of work. I could talk for 2 hours on that, but it is proof of stake versus proof of work. The reason I like that investment for the blockchain, kind of technology is, they give us a lot of freedom to develop, and it's EOS is like a stable currency. It fluctuates between $5 and $3 per EOS. Not that we're not using it yet. And we might not ever do it. But what I am here to show you today is the digital assets for new artists and how you would utilize it. And why is our website so bare? Why is it so bare? Why is there just a few things? That is because if I'm too outright, if I make a website that say these are the things that I'm providing artists, here's why it works, here's why it makes them grow their fan base so quickly, then people just straight up take it. In fact, people do that a lot. I'll tell you my first experience at a hackathon. I saw IBM. They pitched this thing. It was a AI that would create instrumentals, and it created this beautiful symphony. And you're able to be like, hey, Watson, make me a happy symphony. It would make a happy symphony. You'd say, hey, make me a angry symphony. It would make an angry symphony. This was during a hackathon, and I was like, oh, my hackathon project is I'm gonna get Watson to make instrumentals, and I'm gonna allow artists to rap and sing on top of it, and it would be like a collaboration between AI and humans. And they're like, oh my gosh, that's brilliant, but we're not capable of doing it. And they're like, oh no. And I was like, oh, and I'd call it Watson Beats. And they were like, cool, Watson Beats. They like wrote down their notes. A week later, on the radio, I heard Watson Beats. IBM had straight up taken the idea for Watson Beats. They invested a couple $1 million. They got Wiz Khalifa and AI, and they like started making music. It didn't, they charted. It didn't do much after that because they didn't realize like that could have been a community tool. But very first project I put out there was immediately stolen. And so why do we keep it like this? Well, that's why. So how can you use this? Today we're going to review Albertia. Albertia was on our Reddit and had the top. She had the top post, the top like comment, the most amount of karma in interacting on the subreddit, and so that means she's going to get a pair of Vans, and we're going to over deliver. She also gets 1 year of Block One Records membership. And so today I'm going to show what her digital assets are, and I'm going to give everybody who's on this live stream like a very quick and easy direct access to be able to raise your hand and say, I would like my digital assets. Like there's lots of reasons along the lines that maybe you don't have access to your email or your Twitter, but I will give you, this is the best route to communicate with me because I'm spending the next few weeks personally hand delivering a lot of these things. The more I'm in it, the more I can improve it. But anyway, Albertia, I'm going to show her all the different things that she has access to. Let me go ahead and close out all these things. Cool. So first thing to show is this toolbar, this little bookmark bar. Got access to all your little tools here, and I'll walk through them. What should I show first? Go ahead and show this one. Everybody has access to the $1,000 challenge, and it's every month, and each month we kind of change it up. Right now we're posting to Reddit your submissions, but it's not always going to be that way. As soon as our analytics platform is back up and running, it is currently undergoing a slight overhaul, and unfortunately one of our developers had a couple family members who passed away with COVID, And so we do have a slight delay on delivering that. So we're going to use Reddit for right now as far as the analytics on which is the top post. But going forward, we're going to use the analytics platform. We might do music challenges. We might do different stuff. But for right now, because we are working on a docuseries that touches some serious subjects, our challenge is kind of coordinated with that. Like, are you able to record compelling video? It's just, that's it. Can you record compelling video? That will help. If there's a lot of people applying for this, it'll really help us figure out which artist we want to do a episode about. So that's the challenge. It's right there, and it'll always be your bookmarks. Next, music distribution. Anybody who's a member gets full music distribution. We use multiple partners to do it. But as soon as we reach a certain threshold, we will be able to be what's called a music aggregator ourselves. And we're very close to that threshold. And that means we'll have direct access to all the analytics that Spotify and Apple Music and iTunes and all of them provide. Right now, we have to kind of wait. We got to wait for third parties to get it together. And we're data analysts. I don't know if you haven't seen the past live stream. I started as a nuclear engineer before I got into software development. I'm all about the data. And so, here in a little bit, this will be connected directly to Spotify, iTunes, and we'll be able to get that data, and we'll put it into our analytics platform. It's all pretty fun. But for right now, just roll through these questions. We make it just tap, nice and easy. If you've got any issues, we have a couple ways to do tech support, and I'll show you those here in a little bit. So you just roll through that. You'll have access. Music distribution. You can also have access to it right here. We do verify that you are a active member, but that link's right here. Distribution. Challenge. If you need support. Want to interview. All that stuff right here. Important stuff. Anyway, close that out. Next, marketing automation. This is going to be great. And so, Miss Albertia B, she was just very active on Reddit, saying nice things, and she also did her research and clearly understood. And so she had the most karma points. She wins the Vans. I already have her shoe size and where it's shipping to, and all that stuff's great. Should be on its way here shortly. And so, what are we looking at with her Twitter? Well, currently she's not promoting her music on it, so it's almost like a blank slate. I love it. There's so much I could do with it. And so what I'd like to show you guys who are watching is this is a blank slate. And so by next week, I'll show you what a polishing kind of looks like and what I'll show you the automation right now. But by next week, you'll see here's the automation as it works on somebody who's not fine-tuned for it, and then we'll fine-tune it and go from there. And for example, if you have a sizzle video of your best song, you put it here, you pin it, and then that'll be the first thing everybody sees. They'll hit play. And then I really like the link in order to have a call to action. But if we're going to be promoting your music, we got to promote your music. I do think this is awesome. This is awesome. She's raising money for her students, which is wonderful. And if that's what you want to do, let's do it. What we'll do is we'll create a short link that is branded, and it'll be right there. And people are much more likely to click on a branded short link. That'd be great. What's next? Oh yeah, I'm going to show you the superpowers for Twitter. It's very powerful. And if you look at all the social media platforms, Twitter and TikTok are the only ones who have grown really over the past year. And Facebook, Instagram, both of those, they're on their way down. But Twitter's just a much better platform for engaging new potential artists in a way that's just fleeting enough to where you could do it on a pretty large scale. And so, how does it work? I'm going to go over here, and I'm going to do an easy one. XXL Magazine. I'm going to go to somebody, and I'm going to look at their followers. I am going to see if their followers aren't somebody who would like my music. If so, then I can use superpowers for Twitter to automatically follow them. And I can just hit follow all, but before I do that, I'm going to show you guys some settings. So go over to your superpowers for Twitter, hit your options. We will provide your activation key right here. So all of these are going to be your limits on stuff, and there's some automatic stuff in here, and might be good enough to start. If you have the free version, which you know, when you first start, it is fine to use the free version because it maxes out your limit at maybe 50 people that you follow. But for right now, for day one, you know, let's not follow more than 90. Interval. I'm going to go 4 to 8 seconds. So that just means it's going to follow people within every 4 to 8 seconds. Daily limit. You can put one on there. Never more than $3.99. That's just how you got to be. Limit of a single button press is 90. And so what this automation is doing is you're pressing one button. The script is automatically following people in a way that fools Twitter's algorithm. And I know you're thinking, well, Matt, why don't you just continue with this script and do it for us? Here's where Twitter prevents us from doing that. Is we can't be doing it from the same IP address, and maybe we could have a bunch of different IP addresses and they rotate, but they find that out. And so we have created this automation where now it's in your fingertips. All you have to do is press one button, and you will reach the limits of what Twitter allows you to do on the follow unfollow. And as long as you're providing on your Twitter page your best music, your best foot forward, you can turn this into fans. Single press of a button, dozens of fans. It's great. Out of 90, I suspect, you know, 25 will follow back, if not more. Follow. Okay, so I'll just roll through these. I won't go through everything, but. Okay, skip followed, yes. Profile image required. I'll just roll through to make sure they're active. Make sure they're influential. Oh, maximum followers. Whoops. If the follow limit is exceeded, you just want to stop it. Here's what it's going to do. It's going to ask you to reset your password. If you do that, just give it 24 hours. It's not going to ban you unless you're just hammering it. And so if you do that, just recognize what the limit is and then just stay around there. Blacklist, you don't need any blacklist. Max unfollow. Let's see here. Okay, if they don't follow you back within 5 days, and you can change that around, whatever you want. Just get verified, sure. Mass like, don't mess with that yet. Because the mass follow, unfollow is so powerful right now, and you only get so many interactions via an API with Twitter. And yeah, I mean, it is in browser. You only get so many interactions before they stop you. You'd rather follow somebody than like somebody, and eventually, you know, you can get here. But for right now, let's just not mass like, mass unlike, mass retweet. Just don't do it yet. Don't do it yet. Don't do it yet. Eventually, when you're verified, you can do 1,000 actions per day, and that'll be great. That'll be great. You can do autopilot, where you put in. Like here's XXL and let's see, mass follow. I'll do the URL, which is their followers. Just do this. Limit. I'm gonna set it at the 90, and then to timeout seconds. I'll do 1,000 if it 10,000. So it just doesn't do that. And I can remove this. And then technically. I just hit autopilot and it'll do it, and I can add an unfollow action, and that'll just unfollow my followers. And you could hit limit and then idle. And technically, that's the full shebang. That's the full shebang that you would need. Repeat, don't repeat it. Don't repeat it. Don't repeat it. Just stop it after that. And here's the thing is that if you have it up and running, I guess I'll show you that in a second, but if you have it up and running, just you have to have your browser up, but you can like take it and minimize it and do that kind of thing. But anyway, I'm back here. So all your settings are there for your superpowers for Twitter. We can do all your settings for you as well. Because, oh shoot. Yeah, if you're logged in to your Chrome on any computer, then it'll automatically, everything that you have for Block 1 will automatically pop up. You'll automatically have your activation key, you'll automatically have everything. So you're not bound to a specific machine. But anyway, let me show you how this works. No biography, you're out. Is protected, you're out. No biography. Successfully followed. And then it's waiting 4 to 8 seconds and it's going again. And I'm not doing anything. And so, you know, once you're really up and rocking and rolling, this is going to save you thousands and thousands of clicks. And this is, you know, you're treating them with respect by saying, hey, I will listen to your stuff, you know, if you'll come check me out, if you'll just come look at my profile for 1 second, just 1 second, see what's going on. If you don't like it, sorry to waste your time. You're on Twitter. What else are you doing? You know, let's network. Let's see what's up. But now you're doing it in a way where you're doing it intelligently. You're maximizing, you know, your follows. You're maximizing the kind of people who would be fans of your work. If you have an artist that you know has music that is in the same genre, then you can follow their followers, and just make sure that you only follow influential people. Make sure it counts. Make sure it counts. You see, it just. Look at how quick that is. It's a script that runs in your browser. And then you got access to the... And you always have to have it up. Like if I go over here, then it like pauses. You always have to have it up. Which is why you can pull it out. You can minimize it. And like put it on your other screen. Do whatever and it'll still roll. But let's pop it up here. 16. So it's following and each of them are just getting a little... ding. That's the automation. I haven't fine-tuned her profile to really take advantage of it, but I will. I will do that, and I'll show you guys next week. This is just showing you guys the tool. This is superpowers for Twitter. It's very powerful. There's a superpowers for Instagram. It's like half as powerful. It's cool. Half as powerful. It's just doing its thing, following 21 people who all are influential enough. Who all are fans of music. It's great. Okay, let me show you the next thing, the unfollow thing. If I go to the profile and then you go to your followers, or following. If I go to following, which is following. Then I can hit that unfollow all, which you don't want to do, because I want to verify setting. I want to verify setting first, which is right here. I want to verify. Unfollow only profiles who have been mass followed by this extension. Go ahead and click that bad boy. Otherwise, you'll lose the people you already follow right now. And so I've clicked that. Only profiles who, okay. And so technically this shouldn't unfollow anybody. But I guess what I'm showing you is that when you're right here on your own profile, unfollowing, you get this button right here. That's when it pops up. If you're on another profile's followers, you will get a follow button. If you are on your own, you will get this unfollow all button. And ooh, let's see. If you're on home, you get autopilot. You saw that autopilot that I did. And maybe I'll show you that in a second. But first, let me go back to following. Right. There it is. Okay. Wait, what did I just do? I'm in the wrong spot. There we go. There we go. Okay. Unfollow all. Look at it, just plowing right through them. Giving reasons not to unfollow. It shouldn't unfollow anybody. But that's the automation. That's the automation. And so you make sure that your current friends and connections stay safe. And anybody who is followed using this process, when it comes time to unfollow, it just does it. And so went through all of that. Look at that. That's great. So I'll go over here to home. Look at this autopilot. I'm going to go ahead and hit autopilot. It's going to do both of those things. So autopilot. It's going to do both of those things. Automatically goes to XXL magazine. And they get enough followers every single day where if you do it, it's fine. And you, with the autopilot, you could be like, I want to follow 40 people of XXL magazine. I want to follow 40 people of this artist. I want to follow. You can get creative if you would like. And so now I'm going to hit skip, and then it's going to go to the unfollow, because otherwise it'll just finish this. So skip. Now it's going over to who I'm following. It's going to unfollow. It's going to go through that process again. So I'll cancel that. The superpowers for Twitter. It's very powerful. And if some people get 20,000 followers, and it'll be people who like the viral thing, or whatever it may be. But if you get 20,000 followers here, they're people who like music. They're people who have seen your music and seen your profile. Of course, this is not quite updated to be music first. This is teacher first, which is great. Everybody has a profession, which is wonderful, and it's hard to know whether your digital asset is going to be, is this personal, is this music. And so Miss Albertia, if you want to use a different profile, we absolutely can. But now you see what we're going to be utilizing, and if you do it every day, it's just very powerful, very powerful. That's your superpowers. So you hit your Twitter. You just do it once a day, once every other day. Or every Friday when you come to these live streams, be like, that's right, I'm supposed to be doing, and then do it. And then you'll start being like, ooh, look at how many followers I got back. That's great. I'm going to do it more. I'm going to do it more and more. So is this the Block One Records Reddit subreddit? The best way to communicate with me, saying, hey, I would like all of my digital assets done by Matthew Lewis personally, is to message me through here, through comment edits, user comment edits. Message me, chat me. This is the best way to communicate with me. I will. Yes, you can use the website and do support. You can send us a message. Somebody else will receive that. If you want to talk directly to me saying, hey, I would like, this is the email that I used to sign up for Block One Records. I want all my digital assets, and or I'm missing my Twitter, or I forgot how to sign in. This will be your tech support for right now, until you get all the way in, and then I'm going to show you a better version of tech support. This is just right now, for right now. Just contact me. User comment edits. I'm the moderator here. You can message the mods. Maybe that'll work. Or maybe when you're logged in, it'll let you chat me. I don't know if all of these things are possible. But oh yeah, she got all these awards. That's great. She gets a pair of Vans. It's been pinned by the moderators. Let's see. So yes, this is the best way. Reddit. Message me on this subreddit. Block One Records. Reddit or Block One Records, and I'll probably drop a link into this YouTube. But if you go here, then message me, user comment edits, and that is the best way for me to personally deliver your digital assets, which will make sure they are rocking and rolling until you're all the way in, and then you get to chat with me directly, and I'll show you how. So Miss Albertia B has albertia@blockonerecords.com as her email address. She goes in here, look at brand spanking new, no spam mail, No BS. Yeah, you got to protect it. Make sure don't give it away to anybody. Just keep it nice and clean. You'll see all of your different opportunities coming in. Look at that, Matthew Lewis. Hey, hi, Albertia. Now I'm your tech support within your GChat. That's the best way to communicate with me. In fact, this is the best way to chat, but really the best way to view it is over in this chat functionality, and I'll show you how to get there. You see these dots once you're logged into your Gmail. You got your Gmail, your Drive, your calendar. All of these things are in your Drive, and so I like to move the calendar up here. You got your Drive there. I kind of like to move the chats up. I like to move the meet up because those are the things you'll use. You can make sites. You can make a YouTube account. You can do Hangouts. You can do all sorts of stuff. Classrooms, all this. But I kind of focus on just the stuff we need as a record label in order to work towards these creative projects. And in the process, provide you, you know, kind of that next step of your music career without having to bend your creativity to anybody. This is you're in full ownership of all of that. So once you're in here, these little Google app just right there. So you see, you'll see all your stuff, and then you can move it where you want it. So you can chat with me, and you'll want to add me. Maybe I'll add myself to everybody that goes through Reddit, and I personally knock this out for them. But this is the best way for tech support going forward. If you don't have access to your Gmail and you don't have access to this right here, it's where you can chat with me directly, then Reddit's the best way, and we'll get you access to it. And we'll move over here. I can be much more efficient. You can share your screen, I can share mine. We can do all sorts of stuff through here. It's cool. So what else do you have? Your Drive. That's why it's very important. It's cool. Right here, docuseries and your non-disclosure agreement. This is non-disclosure agreement is we're working towards the docuseries, and we really want to find. And I mean, ideally, we're going to do a lot of these episodes, and so we're finding compelling stories. When you do a docuseries episode, the compelling stories are a certain percentage new footage, a certain percentage archived footage, and so if you have archived footage of yourself, whether it is in the studio, whether it is, you know, before the studio, the real stuff, like the real stuff, put all of it in here. This is where the archive footage goes. And if this archive footage becomes compelling enough, then we will make what's called a sizzle reel. And that sizzle reel goes onto your Twitter. And if you're doing your marketing automation, this now becomes very powerful. Very powerful thing. So that's your docuseries folder right there. And you can add folders. You can put your assets in here. You can do whatever you want. This is your Drive. These are just the things that we add that we also have access to ourselves. And then your non-disclosure agreement. I'll just go ahead and review these things. So your confidentiality agreement. That means if we're going to do an episode, you're not going to tell people about it. That's it. That's all we care about. Just don't tell people about it until it's launched, and then we can talk all about it. Because like, what if it gets big? What if you're supposed to talk on like the Tonight Show or something, but instead you've given it all out on Instagram before the show is even out? So confidentiality agreement, right there. Then name and likeness agreement. This is so that we can use your name and likeness in audio and video in a sizzle reel or even in a docuseries. And you know, we have had people take a look at it and be like, wait a second, it looks like you can use my name and likeness around the world in a docuseries or a YouTube video. We're like, yeah, that is what you're signing up for. We're not taking your music. Your music's your music. You keep it. We can help distribute it. We can do all that stuff. We're talking about the archived footage that you are helping provide us, and any of the footage that we get, we can now put that into a docuseries and we can go sell it. And that is the thing. And whatever agreement we have, it means like as it's streaming on HBO or Netflix or wherever we're gonna put it. You know, we're not having to sort out agreements after the fact. Whatever participation we do, we'll agree to it before the fact. But let's see. That's pretty much it on the non-disclosure agreement, name and likeness agreement. This just means we can start putting together your sizzle reel. This means we can even start talking about your episode. All of that's in your drive. You got your chat, you got your Reddit, you got your distribution, you got your Block One records. Okay, we're rocking and rolling. So I'm fully vaccinated. I'm going to be traveling to our top cities in order to start putting together compelling footage. We're going to decide on multiple artists to start pursuing these episodes with, and then we're going to kind of whittle it down to who we're going to polish an episode with. And during that whole time, hopefully we're providing value to everybody. Everybody involved is like a connection. Once we get the eyeballs from everybody, all the community, then it's like this network effect. And we already have a lot of people involved in it. And so it's going to be fun. Block One Records. If you are not a member, come interview with us. If you are, hit this distribution button and let us distribute your music. Hit this challenge button. Even if you're not a member, you can participate in our challenges. It's going to be very difficult to get to the final level of the docuseries if you don't already have distribution, don't already have some sort of marketing automation. If you haven't signed our NDA and confidential, it's going to be very difficult to get to that last step. But the challenge, the